Okay, we're gonna speed run through this dungeon now. We're using meeples for Stilton, Link, Benny, and Rana. And where we left off, they had decided to run into the dungeon in the Temple Zone, because that is where they will find the MacGuffin that the mercenaries are besieging the castle in order to capture. First things first, so they got through the ordeal of opening the or getting past that like weird time magic whatever, and into the I would say, other than that barrier, the temple is actually unlocked and accessible. So going beneath the lore accurate like angel statue looking thing, from there they descend into the sepulcher, the graveyard of the cyclopean mechanism. So I think what they find down there in the first room, I'll just use just Stilton when we're going room to room. They descend the stairs, and let me get the book out because I'm going to lean on the mechanics on the cards, but also look at Shadowdark's dungeon drawing room. So let's take a look. Game Master, Shadowdark Maps 130. Let's see what's in here. I'll be bookmarking this page for sure. Okay. Now, let's see. So each room type is a D10. So normally you're supposed to like scatter a bunch of D10s across a paper to like draw out a map. We don't need to do that. But one step is to note the number on each die to determine the type of room it is. Roll in the corresponding table for the room type. So we'll just be rolling room to room if we need to find out what awaits them in each. Otherwise, we'll defer to what's on the card. So since there's nothing to describe what's on this first room that we enter, let's roll for it. Oh, someone should be carrying a torch. I think Rana will burn a supply for a torch. So that's one less supply for Rana, because she doesn't carry weapons otherwise. And I use my torches on a usage die, which start on a D8. So every turn the characters take, I roll the torch die, and on a 1 or a 2, like that, it goes down a size until the torch goes out. And when the torch goes out is also when we check for random when the torch die depletes is also when I check for random encounters, depending on the danger level of the dungeon. It'll make sense when we play. This is a deadly dungeon, so that's bad. So I'm just gonna write down it is deadly. I kind of like doing this on an iPad, and I wonder if I could just get a little bit more digital. I don't know. I'm sure it's coming across okay there. Okay, so first room type. This entrance room is a roll a d10. That's fine. A 7. This is a monster mob room. Of a d6. 6 organized. Organized warriors, a mob of organized warriors. And I think, keeping in mind that this is a Mechanical room. Whatever monsters we come up with, we will try to keep the flavor mechanical, if that makes sense. So why not some animated armor? Is there more than one animated armor? Let's check the Oracle. 2. I forgot how the Oracle works. I gotta get my PDF up. Oops, I'm so prepared for this. Let's see. Shadowdark and Dark. I believe a 2 means yes. I could be very wrong. Is it no? No, there's one animated armor in here. So when the party descends the stairs, waiting for them, bookmark that, is a statuesque figure. That's a gray meeple. Standing in doorway number... Standing in front of this doorway like a guardian. Is it obvious that this is an animated armor versus just a statue? There's a twist. Ooh, okay. It's got to roll in the prompts. What's going on with this animated armor? 89. Guide. In 80. Guide place. Okay, this is like as they come down the stairs, what they actually find standing in front of this doorway is a statue that sort of is in a like genuflecting bowed position of like reverence. And the party approaches it, and if they can properly decode this thing, it will join them and walk them through this dungeon, opposed to just attacking them. They can win it over. It's the dungeon servitor, the butler kind of a thing. Looking for a high wisdom. That is Benny. Benny makes some inverted gesture towards Ord, the god of, I think, order. And, right. I'll pause and look at that. Yeah. God of knowledge. And by making this sort of gesture, he lets inverted Ord sort of guide his hand as the halfling sort of reaches out and like cups his hand over the statue's skull, and sends in magic to try to like manipulate and subjugate the animated armor instead of like win it over with charisma. So Benny's going to test wisdom. I think this is going to be very challenging to do. So DC 18. But he rolls an 18. Yeah, cool. And so the animated armor turns upright and makes a gesture of like obedience towards Benny. And joins the party. Test our torch die. It's okay. Okay. This intrigues the party to continue westward to explore. So we're going to slide this over. Is this door locked? 14, that's a yes. I guess locked is not the reward I'm looking for. Is there some sort of like challenge to overcome with this door? And yes, it is. So it is a trap or a hazard here. Let's go to traps and hazards. The door is trapped with a 8. A javelin, which is activated by word is spoken. Interesting. Which will do d6 damage. Okay, it is deactivated by a spoken word. Okay. So there is a riddle above this doorway, and I can't imagine how anyone could solo play out a riddle. So we are instead going to try to just roll to get past it, or else be shot with an arrow. We have a +2 from Lank, who rolls a skull, which is a natural 20. Awesome. So not only does she disarm the trap, but she gains a javelin. She's able to like disarm it and take the javelin out of the trap. So we get a javelin that causes blindness. It's like coated in a poison. And the party continues on. We'll check the torch. It's down to a d6. Okay, this room. There's nothing on the card. So we'll roll a d10 to see what's going on in this room. Another 10. A boss monster. Okay. Somewhere on this card, this 6 of spades is a boss monster. I don't want him in the hallway here. But whatever we draw up here is going to be boss monster status. Stilton, acting as the group's scout, tries to listen ahead. Can he glean this information? A 9. Not looking good for Stilton. The party is without a clue. Should they go north or further west? Let's see. 1 through 3 is west. Okay, so they try to go north. They come into some sort of storage room. Are they able to scavenge for some supplies? 6. No. It's been picked over pretty clean here. There's nothing to be found. That's a shame. But we do have to test the torch die. 6. We're good. Okay. Coming around to this room, and what waits for the party is a d6 plus the PC's level. Oh, we got to add the averages of their level. That is 4, 5, 11, 13 divided by 4. Average APL. We'll go with 4. Inside this room is a mechanical goblin. But a big, nasty-looking goblin. So let's go to the goblin page. I believe goblins get their own page in Shadowdark. Yeah. A scarred goblin with knotted muscles and a crown of iron. Here's our goblin boss. Wish I could zoom in more. Because, boy howdy, do they fill up the room. And because a goblin cannot be surprised, when the party was rummaging through here, did he hear them? He rolls with advantage to hear them. No, he did not hear them. Okay, so this automaton goblin was also sort of like booting up. But regardless, they haven't come across this guy so they haven't been able to ambush him. So he was able to reactivate in time to intercept the party coming at him. All right, so what we have here is a goblin boss who has not been surprised. Goblins have 20 hit points. And their armor class is 14. Okay. Is there any other danger in this room? 12. I believe that's a yes. Wait for my screen to turn back on. A 12 is a yes. He is going to be joined by a handful of other little. I'm going to use goblin stats, but these are more like little atomic, almost like gnome-like creatures. D4 of them, just to keep things a little bit spicier. All 4. Okay. So we have 4 little minions in this room. That's a very crowded room at this point. Okay, so the yellow is the boss. And he has 4 little minions that activate when the party comes in. Let's roll initiative. We're going to do side-based initiative. For my sanity. The green will be green for goblin. Okay, the party barely wins the initiative. And they fly into swift action. We'll have Link, the chaotic barbarian fighter, is eager to use her greatsword, and she all but leaps onto this tall table to square off against the goblin boss. And she tries to strike him with her greatsword. Getting +8 versus 14 to hit. Yeah, a solid hit. And she does D12 plus 3 damage. Holy. 9 damage to the goblin boss. So I'm going to count up to 20. Okay. That's Lank has gone. Stilton falls back to the corner where he tells Flossus to stay by his side and defend him. He draws his longbow to take a shot at one of these goblin minions. 5 plus 2, a 7 is probably not going to be a hit on the goblin. It is not a hit, so his arrow goes wide. Gotta write down his arrows. I'm just going to keep track down here how many arrows he shot. He has 20 of them, so shouldn't be a problem. Benny, our halfling priest, slips around the table between this line of goblins to get to the boss. He wants to finish the boss off quickly. So he attacks with his mace, which does a d6. So no time for spell casting. 12 plus 3 is 15 versus the AC of 14 is a hit. He does 2 points of damage. So we're to 11. But I could do 11 damage. And then Rana, our Beastmaster, I believe she can only change shape once per day. So we're not going to use it here. But she does have her... she is mighty with her bear claws. So she does +2 to hits. I gotta double check this thing, man. Beastmaster's... okay. She has +1 strength and it is mighty, so for a net +2. And she does D8 damage with her claw hands. Yeah, once per day she can shape change, so we're not going to do it here. And she also slips in, although this goblin is in the way, so she attacks that goblin. AC is 15. She rolls a 1. Ooh, she chips a claw and will be at disadvantage for her torchlight. For 2. Yep, our torch is down to a D4. Is that your D6? That's not good. We're about to be plunged into darkness. Oh, we also have to do a random encounter check now. A 3. Yep, there is a random encounter. Something happens while these people are squaring off in this... oh boy. Going to... I wonder if I rolled on the temple encounters, it would be something cool. Or let's do a ruin. Ruin encounter table. This is going south very quickly. 38. A gelatinous cube full of handy items is stuck inside a pit. I will interpret that instead as a gelatinous cube full of handy items sort of like oozes out of the wall. And into the two goblins in front of it, which might be temporarily a really good thing. Gelatinous cube. Engulf. DC 12 strength or trapped inside the cube. Oh wait, first it has to touch you. Okay, so the cube attacks one of the automatons right next to it. He gets +4, and rolls a 13, so the cube immediately engulfs one of these guys. He does D8 damage. 1 point of damage to that goblin, which doesn't kill it. But then we do toxin. So the goblin has to make a con save. DC 15. Fails. Okay, the goblin's just subsumed into the gelatinous cube. And Benny is like, "Oh my god, there's oh my ord, there's a cube." Benny is level 6. He's seen this kind of shenanigans before. Although I think Benny might want to consider a spell. Should have gone around with Bless before we started. Okay. Monsters' turns. Our robotic butler stomps in. He should have gone with us, so he'll go now. And tries to attack the cube, I guess? Yeah, because these gelatinous cubes oozing into the walls have been a problem for a long time. He gets 1 longsword attack versus gelatinous cube's AC of 11. Rolled a 6. This is very hard to read. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a hit. Doing D8 damage. 2 points of damage to the cube. Cubes have 24. Oh boy. 24 hit points. Oops. I don't want to do that. I want to move our party level out of the way. Sorry, Stilton. Okay, zoom back in. Our goblin boss stats are right here. Cube has taken, I think I said 2 points of damage out of 24. That is horrific. Yeah, we look something like this. Okay, I'm going to switch out this guy for another color so I can tell them apart. This is our animated armor. Okay, so we have party members, animated armor, gelatinous cube, goblin mechanical enemies, and goblin boss mechanical. Okay, it's their turn. The goblins rush in, 1 on Rana, 1 on the cube, 1 on Benny. So we'll do Rana first. Her AC is not written down. Oops. A bad GM. She has Beast Hide. So she adds con to her AC. So Dex is 2, and she has like an AC of 15. That's really good. Goblins do +0 to hit. It's a 10. I'm switching off for the green die. It's easy to read. Okay, Benny, his AC is also not written down. I believe it's leather armor. 11 plus Dex. His AC is 10. He's hit. Benny's taking damage. He's attacked with a club, which does D4 damage. 2 points of damage to good old Benny. Okay, and the gelatinous cube is under attack. It's a hit. No, it's a miss. And then DC He's sucked into the cube. Gone. I like that. All right. The gelatinous cube's turn. No, he already went. He had the surprise round thing. So top of the order. Okay, the heroes win initiative again. Heroes, the crawlers. Just going to go counterclockwise again, starting with Link, who bashes the goblin boss again, or tries to. Rolling 15 to hit. Yeah, 15 to hit, so that's a hit. Doing d12 plus 3 damage. Roll high, come on, 9, 10, 11, 12. She slays the goblin boss in 2 hits. Now we should check for morale. Not morale necessarily, but are the monsters able to keep coherency now that they've lost their, like, the brain of the room, right? So I'm going to test their wisdom. Assuming goblins have a negative wisdom. Yep, they fail. So the goblins fall apart because they don't have their hive mind in charge. Pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. Now it's just the cube is the problem. Boss is gone. Link is gone. Okay, Stilton shoots an arrow at the cube. That is a natural 1 and loses. His arrow breaks. So we're down to a total of 19 arrows. That I don't know what to say. So he shoots the arrow. He misses on a natural 1. He'll have disadvantage on his next turn. Speaking of having disadvantage, let's switch over to Rana while I'm thinking about it. Rana comes in there and tries to attack the cube. She has disadvantage. 19. A 6. 6 plus 2. That's a miss. Benny. There's got to be a spell to cast here that doesn't involve touching this yucky thing. Benny's going to try to cast Holy Weapon on Link. It does not go off. Oh boy. Okay, Holy Weapon has been a failure, but he backs off. Okay, and the animated armor makes an attack. A lot of page flipping. He's plus 3 and does a d8 in damage. I'm going to try to at least speed that up. Hits the cube, who has an AC of like 11, I think. Yep. Doing 2 more points of damage. We need to make some much better progress here. There's still 20 hit points. Okay, the cube, who likes to munch on metal, goes to attack the animated armor. D4, plus 4. It's 15, plus math, hits the animated armor. So he does D8 damage to our animated armor companion. 5 points of damage. That's half the animated armor's hit points. And then Toxin, con save or be paralyzed. Fails the animated armor is paralyzed. And then engulf. DC 12 strength. Fails that too. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, holy cow. The cube slurps up another ally. And I think at this point we are gonna run for it because the gelatinous cube is probably not fast. Well, it moves near. It's just fast. Holy cow. Okay. Initiative. The green is now the gelatinous cube, who wins initiative and moves on to Rana. Rana with her AC of 15. That's probably a miss. Yeah. That's a miss. Oh, Rana should check her torch. It holds. Barely. Okay. Now it's our turns. Stilton shoots an arrow. Let's get that out of the way. It does D8 damage. 7. Plus 3 is not going to hit AC 11. But Link can jump in there and cut her way through this. Oops, do it, Benny. Cut her way through this gelatinous cube, doing plus 8 to hit. 8 and 8 is 16. She does D12 plus 3 damage. 6 points of damage, so 10 total. Damage. We're almost halfway there. Okay, check. Rana spends her turn. She backs off and lights a new torch before things go bad. So she's back up to a D8 torch, which we test. Good. Okay. Lights a torch. And then Benny steps up and he's going to try to club it, doing plus 3. That's 8 damage. That is not going to do it. Oh my goodness. Gelatinous cubes are terrifying. All right. We win initiative. The monster wins initiative, rather. The gelatinous cube. Green for monsters. And the gelatinous cube attacks Link. And it's a miss. Link counterattacks. It's a hit. 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. And that brings us up to 22 total. Benny, let's do him. See if he can club this thing. Yep, boom. That's only 1 point of damage, though. All right, Stilton. Finally lands an arrow doing the most pitiful damage, and the gelatinous cube sort of like blah, goops across the floor. And inside is there we know that over here is a locked door. There's 2 locked doors in this dungeon. So in the refuse that sort of melts out of this gelatinous cube, do we find a key? 11 is a yes, but the key is corroded and will still require some finagling to make work in the lock. What else is here? Let's roll to see. Is there any treasure inside this cube's remains? 19, yes. But it's also corroded. Let's find some random treasure. Let's see, a gelatinous cube is a level 5 monster. So go to the level 5 table. Roll D100. I believe that's a +2 magic weapon. Benefit curse, plus 500 hit points. What kind of magical weapon is it? Roll on the table. They find another, well, Stilton already has the magic dagger, but they find another magic dagger in there. And Stilton is ballsy enough to say, technically that was my shot. So he steps in there and picks up a dagger, which is still covered in like gelatinous cube gunk and is unusable until he can get time to clean it. Is there anything else important in this room? 16, that's a yes. Is it beneficial to the party? No, it's not. Inside this room, they find discarded armor and tools and such. And spend a turn. I'm going to roll at the torch for once for looting the gelatinous cube, and then second for looting the dungeon. That is a 4, so we're down to a 6. And we're going to check for another random encounter. There is another random encounter. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's go back to ruins. As the party loots through. This place is no joke. 85. 2d6 kobolds work in a makeshift volatile alchemy lab. Okay. So while we're looting the cube and the room, we now know that the party has tripped some sort of alarm in this dungeon. And this room here, let's do this room here, is now a kobold. Remember again, like a mechanical kobold alchemy lab. And they are getting ready for the group. They have tripped an alarm. They hear it echoing throughout the dungeon corridors. Okay. They go to the north door, and it is locked, but they have the key, but the key is shit. So, will the key work in the lock? No. But, it will facilitate them lock-picking the lock, even though there's no thief in this party. Everyone sort of turns their eye to Stilton, who does have the best dexterity. Actually, after Rana. Rana pushes Stilton aside and says, you already got the dagger. I want claim to whatever's in this room. And she will attempt to pick the lock. 5, 7, 7, 8, 9. She fails. So she picks the lock, but breaks the key in doing so. And spends too much time doing it. Right? She's not able to pick the lock quickly. So another 2 turns go by. 3 and 3. We're good. The torch persists and no random encounter. The party moves onward to a long hallway. They poke their head into this room. Is there anything here? Yes, but there are things inside the room, but nothing crazy useful. They do find a smattering of coins left in, like between some of these barrels. That's what that is. So let me go to treasure. Treasure. Pause. Okay, resume. Per treasure find, each group should gain about 10 gold times their average party level and value. So we're APL 4, so it should be 40 gold. We're going to just do a percentage of that, and I'll do the math later. So they find whatever would be like 60% of 40 gold. And we'll sort that out. The value of that later. A little bit more than half, it's like 20 and change and something like that. Okay, then out here and into this room is where they find 3d6 gold. 3, 7, 8 more gold. Awesome. And looting the rooms takes a turn. The torch does not go down. Are they able to find the secret passage in this room? Let's do with advantage, a +2 with advantage. Between various bonuses. 16, 18, yeah, they find the secret passage, which leads them through this hallway, and that's where they come across. We know in this room is actually a bunch of kobolds setting up an alchemy lab. I forget which random encounter we rolled. It was like 88. No. Okay, we're going to go with 2d4 kobolds because that's the number I see in here. Yeah, 2d6 kobolds. Oh boy. Okay. There are 11 little automatons poised, like staged around this area. And they were ready to throw their bombs that way. However, the party's coming in this way. And so they will catch these kobold automatons by surprise. And there are 11 of them. I don't have that many tokens. I couldn't fit that many in the space anyway. So let's get kobold stats really quickly, because maybe we can solve that through some good dice rolling. There's my kobolds. I just lost the page. I don't often run games out of a book. I usually use a tablet, and page turning is really hard. Interesting. Kobolds have an AC of 13 and 1 hit point. So there's 11 of them. All right, so the party jumps into this room, and as soon as they realize that they are sort of like counter-ambushing some attackers, they fly into action, getting a surprise round on their attackers. So I'm going to let everyone roll with advantage on their attacks. Going around the room. Link hits, so that's 1 dead. Stilton shoots an arrow. It's another 1 dead. Keeping track of his arrow expenditure. Rana runs in and starts just like throwing kobolds around. That's another 1 dead. And Benny smashes with his mace. Okay, that's 4 dead. And now we roll initiative. Again, the light green will be the kobolds who win the initiative. So they backpedal and start throwing alchemy bombs at the party. They have D4 bombs prepared. 3 bombs. Also got to check the torch on Rana's turn. It's down to a d4. I'm going to skip that random encounter just because. Just because. Because we're now like 2 random encounters deep. Okay, so 3 characters are being attacked by fire bombs. Who is not getting attacked? Lank is ignored. Okay, let's take a look at maybe the kobold. Yeah, I'm just gonna borrow from the kobold sorcerer who does Scorpion Sting. It's a charisma spell, DC 11, 1d6 damage, and the target has disadvantage on their next attack roll. So we're gonna do that. So Stilton is attacked. It's a miss. In fact, it was a natural 1, so one of the kobolds like drops the bomb and blows themselves up. And for Benny and Rana, 13 is a hit, and 15 is a miss. So Benny is hit for 3 points of damage. He's already taken 2, so he's down 5 hit points. And has disadvantage on his next turn. I hope I can remember that. It's the party's turn now. Lank again attacks, no more advantage. That's a hit. That's another one dead. Stilton hits. That's another one dead. Benny with disadvantage rolls. Is that a 20? Yeah, rolls a nat 20 and then a 17. So there goes his critical hit. And Rana attacks. That's another one dead. So that's half of their party dead. So we're going to make a morale check. And the torch barely holds on. Morale is a wisdom check. +1. The automatons, kobolds, hold tight. Hold fast. So I believe morale is a DC 15. Yeah. Okay. That was... There are 4 dead. So with 2 left, they make 2 scratching attacks on Link. Both of them on Link. They both miss. And then I'm assuming they win initiative again, so they attack this time Rana. And hit once, doing d6 damage. Oh my. 1 point of damage to Rana there. And then the party, I'm going to assume, just dispatches the last 2. It's double miss, actually. And then double hit, yeah. I'll check the torch. Goes down. The party is engulfed in darkness as the kobolds go down. And I think this is where I'm going to take a brief break.